Welcome, everyone, to today's deep dive into a seemingly paradoxical reality playing out in one of the world's most glamorous and iconic cities, Los Angeles. Think of sprawling mansions nestled in the Hollywood Hills overlooking a glittering cityscape, a place synonymous with dreams and fortunes. Yet, just a short drive away, starkly contrasting scenes unfold: overcrowded neighborhoods, struggling families, and a persistent cycle of poverty. How can a city that radiates such immense wealth also be a place where economic disparity is so deeply entrenched? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the complex mechanisms that perpetuate this divide, exploring the statistical realities and the underlying forces that contribute to why, in Los Angeles, the rich often seem to get richer, while the poor face significant hurdles in climbing the economic ladder. We'll examine everything from the soaring cost of living, particularly housing, to the nuances of the local job market, the impact of historical and systemic inequalities, and the challenges in accessing quality education and health care. By the end of this video, you'll have a comprehensive understanding of this critical issue, backed by data and real-world context. So, buckle up as we unravel the intricate web of factors that shape economic inequality in the City of Angels. Let's get started. The crushing weight of the cost of living. One of the most immediate and significant factors contributing to the wealth gap in Los Angeles is the astronomical cost of living, particularly when it comes to housing. Over the past decade, the median home price in Los Angeles County has more than doubled, reaching figures that are simply unattainable for a significant portion of the population. Rent prices have followed a similar trajectory, making it increasingly difficult for low- and middle-income families to secure stable and affordable housing. According to recent data, over 50% of renters in the Los Angeles metropolitan area spend more than 30% of their income on rent, exceeding the affordability threshold defined by housing experts. For many low-income households, this figure can climb to 50% or even higher, leaving little room for other essential expenses like food, transportation, and health care. This housing crisis has a cascading effect. As housing costs soar, individuals and families with limited financial resources are often forced to live in overcrowded conditions, commute long distances to work in more affordable areas, or even face homelessness. Los Angeles County has one of the largest homeless populations in the United States, a stark visual manifestation of the affordability crisis. The burden of high housing costs also limits the ability of lower-income individuals to save money, invest in their future, or pursue educational or career advancement opportunities. It creates a vicious cycle where a significant portion of their earnings is perpetually directed towards simply maintaining shelter, hindering their ability to build wealth or improve their economic standing. Meanwhile, those who already own property or have substantial financial assets often benefit from the appreciating real estate market, further widening the wealth gap. A dual-tier job market. The job market in Los Angeles presents another layer of complexity in understanding economic inequality. While the region boasts a thriving economy driven by industries like entertainment, technology, and international trade, there exists a distinct dual-tiered structure. At the top end, there are high-paying jobs in these sectors that require specialized skills and advanced education. These roles often come with comprehensive benefits and opportunities for career growth, primarily accessible to individuals with the right qualifications and networks. However, a significant portion of the Los Angeles workforce is employed in lower-wage sectors, such as hospitality, retail, and service industries. These jobs often offer limited benefits, job security, and opportunities for upward mobility. The median wage in these sectors lags significantly behind the overall median income in the region, making it challenging for individuals working in these roles to make ends meet, let alone build savings or wealth. The rise of the gig economy has further contributed to this precarious situation for many, offering flexibility, but often lacking the stability and benefits of traditional employment. This bifurcation of the job market means that while some segments of the population experience economic prosperity, a large portion remains trapped in low-wage jobs with limited prospect for advancement, perpetuating the cycle of poverty, the enduring legacy of systemic inequalities. It's impossible to discuss economic disparities in Los Angeles without acknowledging the deeply rooted legacy of historical and systemic inequalities. Discriminatory practices in housing, lending, and employment have historically disadvantaged marginalized communities, particularly people of color. Redlining, for example, a discriminatory practice that denied services to residents of certain neighborhoods based on their racial or ethnic composition, has had long-lasting effects on wealth accumulation in these communities. Generations of limited access to homeownership, quality education, and business opportunities have created significant wealth gaps that persist to this day. These historical disadvantages continue to manifest in various forms. For instance, disparities in educational outcomes often correlate with neighborhood demographics, impacting access to higher education and higher-paying jobs. Implicit biases in hiring practices can further disadvantage individuals from marginalized backgrounds. The cumulative effect of these systemic barriers makes it significantly more challenging for individuals and families in these communities to escape poverty and build wealth, regardless of their individual efforts or talents. Addressing the current economic disparities requires a deep understanding and reckoning with these historical injustices and the ongoing systemic factors that perpetuate them. Unequal access to education and healthcare. Access to quality education and healthcare are critical determinants of economic opportunity and well-being, and in Los Angeles, these resources are not distributed equitably. Neighborhoods with higher property values often have better-funded public schools, leading to disparities in educational quality and resources. This can impact students' academic performance, their likelihood of pursuing higher education, and ultimately their future career prospects. The high cost of private education further exacerbates this divide, creating a system where those who can afford often receive a superior educational foundation. Similarly, access to quality health care can vary significantly depending on income and neighborhood. While the Affordable Care Act has expanded health insurance coverage, many low-income individuals and families still face challenges in accessing comprehensive and affordable health care services. The lack of adequate health care can lead to untreated illnesses, reduced productivity, and significant financial burdens due to medical expenses, further trapping families in a cycle of poverty. The unequal access to these fundamental resources creates significant barriers for lower-income individuals to improve their lives and achieve economic mobility, contributing to the widening gap between the rich and the poor. The role of policy and investment. Addressing the complex issue of economic inequality in Los Angeles requires a multifaceted approach that involves strategic policy interventions and targeted investments. On the housing front, policies aimed at increasing the supply of affordable housing, strengthening tenant protections, and providing rental assistance are crucial. This includes streamlining the approval process for affordable housing developments, exploring innovative housing solutions, and investing in programs that help prevent homelessness. In terms of the job market, policies that support worker training and skills development, raise the minimum wage, and ensure fair labor practices can help improve the economic standing of low-wage workers. Investing in infrastructure and economic development in underserved communities can create new job opportunities and stimulate local economies. Furthermore, addressing the legacy of systemic inequalities requires targeted investments in education, healthcare, and community development in historically disadvantaged neighborhoods. Policies that promote equitable access to opportunities and address discriminatory practices in various sectors are essential to creating a more level playing field. Ultimately, a comprehensive and sustained commitment to these policy interventions and investments is necessary to break the cycle of poverty and promote greater economic equity in Los Angeles. Philanthropy and community initiatives. While policy changes and systemic reforms are crucial, philanthropic efforts and grassroots community initiatives also play a vital role in addressing economic inequality in Los Angeles. Numerous nonprofit organizations and community groups are working on the ground to provide essential services, support vulnerable populations, and empower individuals to improve their economic circumstances. These initiatives range from providing food and shelter to offering job training, financial literacy programs, and legal aid. Philanthropic organizations contribute significant resources to support these efforts, funding programs that address a wide range of needs. However, while these initiatives provide critical support and can make a tangible difference in the lives of individuals and families, they often operate within the existing structures of inequality. To achieve more systemic change, these efforts need to be coupled with broader policy reforms and a collective commitment to addressing the root causes of economic disparity. Nevertheless, The dedication and impact of these philanthropic and community-based organizations are essential in providing a safety net and fostering hope within communities facing economic hardship in Los Angeles. The intergenerational cycle of poverty. One of the most challenging aspects of economic inequality is the intergenerational cycle of poverty. Children born into low-income families often face a multitude of disadvantages that can hinder their future economic prospects. Limited access to quality early childhood education, under-resourced schools, and fewer opportunities for enrichment activities can create a significant achievement gap compared to their more affluent peers. These educational disparities can impact their ability to gain admission to competitive colleges and secure higher-paying jobs. Furthermore, families experiencing poverty often face higher levels of stress and instability, which can negatively impact children's development and well-being. The lack of financial resources can also limit access to quality health care, nutritious food, and safe living environments, further perpetuating the cycle of disadvantage. Without targeted interventions and support systems that address these intergenerational challenges, children from low-income backgrounds are more likely to experience poverty as adults, perpetuating the cycle for future generations. Breaking this cycle requires comprehensive strategies that invest in early childhood development, provide equitable educational opportunities, and support families in overcoming the barriers associated with poverty. The impact on social cohesion and the city's future. The widening economic gap in Los Angeles has significant consequences beyond individual financial well-being. It also erodes social cohesion and poses challenges for the city's long-term future. High levels of inequality can lead to increased social unrest, crime rates, and a breakdown of community bonds. When a significant portion of the population feels economically marginalized and excluded, it can create resentment and division within society. Furthermore, the inability of many residents to afford to live and work in Los Angeles can impact the city's economic competitiveness and cultural vibrancy. As essential workers and young people are priced out of the market, the city risks losing the diverse talent and workforce that are crucial for its future prosperity. Addressing economic inequality is not just a matter of social justice. It is also a strategic imperative for ensuring the long-term health, stability, and vibrancy of Los Angeles. Creating a more equitable society where everyone has the opportunity to thrive benefits the entire community. Conclusion: a call for collective action. The reality of why the rich in Los Angeles seem to get richer, while the poor stay poor, is a complex interplay of economic forces, historical legacies, and systemic barriers. The crushing cost of living, a dual-tier job market, the enduring impact of inequality, unequal access to essential resources, and the intergenerational cycle of poverty all contribute to this persistent divide. While philanthropic efforts and community initiatives provide vital support, addressing this deep-seated issue requires comprehensive and sustained collective action. This includes implementing bold policy reforms aimed at increasing affordable housing, creating pathways to quality jobs, addressing historical injustices, ensuring equitable access to education and health care, and investing in underserved communities.